Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's, as we always do, take a quick look outside our weather window from this afternoon. And what a beautiful shot that is. Does it get any nicer than that? That's from our cross camera up on Wenatchee Heights, and a little bit of everything as we look down at the Wenatchee Valley. Beautiful shadows from the sun and those clouds. We did see quite a few clouds to our west and our north throughout the afternoon. There were even some scattered showers in the upper elevations. Temperatures stayed nice today, and we're going to stay fairly comfortable as we take a look at our next 7 days. 84 as we get into our weekend tomorrow, so it'd be a nice one. 89 for Sunday. Then we'll be right around that 90-degree mark with lots of sunshine Monday right into the end of next week. We'll have your complete weekend weather forecast and beyond coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. In the last week, Governor Jay Inslee has visited Brewster and Wenatchee as both places showed signs of increasing COVID-19 infection rates. Washington State is applying for federal unemployment benefits that would provide $300 a week in federal money to out-of-work people in addition to their state unemployment checks. And the Palmer Fire, burning 7 miles southwest of Oroville, nearly doubled in size between Thursday and Friday morning and continues unabated. But first, we begin tonight. The numbers are in from the voluntary COVID-19 testing in Bridgeport on Tuesday, and those numbers aren't good. The Chelan Douglas Health District says of the 32 volunteers who were tested, 12 of those tested positive for COVID-19. All of the individuals who did test positive are of Hispanic descent and had no COVID-19 symptoms at the time of the testing. The health district is planning to coordinate an effort that could begin as soon as Monday to test all 2,500 residents of the Bridgeport area. Washington State is applying for federal unemployment benefits, as we just mentioned, that would provide $300 a week in federal money to out-of-work people in addition to their state unemployment checks. In other news, in the last week, as we mentioned, Governor Jay Inslee has visited Brewster and Wenatchee as both places showed signs of increasing COVID-19 infection rates. On Wednesday, he ordered more rigorous testing at Washington's farm and packing house facilities since the virus has exploded among those agriculture workers. NCWLIFE Jefferson Robbins asked the governor yesterday whether more could have been done to protect the state farm employees.
The initial directives concerning farm worker housing have been on the books for a while, and I think a lot of people saw these as potential sites for rapid spread. Should the requirement for testing have been put in place earlier?
You know, I'm sure that throughout this, there are many things that, in retrospect you could say, but I think we have responded to the science and the ability to do the testing. So as you know, we have been inhibited by a limitation of testing capability for some period of time, in large part because the federal government would not get off the dime and actually help manufacture the test swabs and the reagents and the analytical capability. So as we have increased the ability to do the tests, that has allowed us to expand the places where we're doing testing, including these ag facilities. Now, obviously, we've also seen some of these get hit hard, so we've identified where the problem is. That helps identify the problem as well. So I think given the fact that we just didn't have the testing capability until now, probably means we're doing it in about the right period of time.
You can watch our full-length interview with the governor on our Facebook page or on our website at ncwlife.com. Also worth noting, the governor's been using the phrase, "be a protector, not an infector," when urging people to mask up and stay home. That catchphrase was developed by the Chelan Douglas Health District for its superhero-themed COVID-19 campaign. Inslee said he heard the phrase during his visit to Wenatchee this week from Chamber of Commerce Director Shiloh Burgess. Well, Washington State is applying for federal unemployment benefits. We mentioned this earlier, that would provide $300 a week in federal money to out-of-work people in addition to their state unemployment checks. The federal government had been adding $600 per week to unemployment checks, but that program, the CARES Act, expired on August 1st. President Trump created the Lost Wages Assistance Program by executive order. He did that August 8th after congressional leaders were unable to agree on extending the benefit. The money is being distributed through FEMA and is for people who applied for unemployment between July 26th and August 15th. As of Thursday, 11 states have already been approved for the money, and 14 others have applications pending. States have the option of adding $100 to the weekly checks from previous COVID-19 relief funds, but Washington officials have indicated they won't do that. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said Trump's executive order creating the fund was illegal and his state will not be applying for those benefits. Meanwhile, the Palmer Fire, burning 7 miles southwest of Oroville, nearly doubled in size between Thursday and Friday morning, and it continues unabated. The Bureau of Land Management estimates that the fire at over 11,000 acres is burning in brush and grass. New Level 3 evacuation notices have been issued for residents along Totes Coulee Road to Chopaka Road and along the Loomis-Oroville Road. This map indicates where those evacuations are, with the Level 3 evacuations in red and 11-2 evacuations in yellow. Black dots indicate homes or structures. Meanwhile, the town of Oroville is on the far right side of that map. 30 buildings have been reported as either damaged or destroyed so far. 398 personnel from multiple agencies are fighting the fire. There is no containment yet, and strong winds are forecast for the area today. Well, coming up next, the Wenatchee School District will begin the school year August 26th with online-only instruction, and Superintendent Dr. Paul Gordon said teachers and administrators have spent weeks preparing to make that experience as valuable as possible. Congresswoman Kim Schreier has introduced a bill that responds to plummeting immunization rates and helps communities prepare for the rollout of a COVID-19 vaccine once tested and approved. And a 4-way land swap has cleared the way for low-cost housing and a new community center in Chelan. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Looking for a faster way to kickstart your business career? Look to the Charter College Associate Degree in Business Management, a convenient online program at an ABHES-accredited institution. You could earn a degree in just 14 months, a degree that positions you for up to 18% higher earnings than a high school diploma. Plus, Charter will assist you in finding a job. Visit chartercollege.edu to get started, because we work to get you to work.
Hi, this is Brian Snyder with BlackRock Asphalt Services here in Wenatchee, your local BlackRock seal coat company. Have you looked at your driveway or parking lot lately? Is it gray and oxidized? Does it have cracks that have not been taken care of? Or do you have striping that is pretty much non-existent? Please give us a call locally here, 509-665-9769. Learn more at blackrockasphaltsealcoating.com.
Introducing the most capable Sierra lineup ever.
Welcome back. In another news, the Wenatchee School District will begin the school year on August 26th with online-only instruction. And Superintendent Dr. Paul Gordon said teachers and administrators have spent weeks preparing to make that experience as valuable as possible. Gordon told Wake Up Wenatchee Valley's Dan Kuntz this week that the district is much better prepared for virtual learning than last spring when the COVID-19 pandemic abruptly shut down in-class instruction.
So excited to welcome our students back on August 26th. I'm really proud of every one of our staff members for the work that they've been doing over the summer and in this past week. So they're prepared for our students and our families when we return next week. What I would ask is to continue giving our staff some grace, give us feedback, but recognizing this too is a change for our teachers, and the work that they're doing is incredibly important. So they're trying to be as diligent as possible in ensuring that every T is crossed and every I is dotted. But it's not going to be perfect out of the gate, but it will continue to grow and continue to get better. We want to hear from you. We want to continue making this a better opportunity for each and every one of our students. And that's been my promise all along, is that this is going to be a more rigorous, structured, and consistent learning environment than we had in the spring. And I know, because I know our staff, they're going to be able to hit that promise and go way above and beyond what I've laid out as our expectations for the Wenatchee School District.
Well, speaking of school, immunizations are still required for the start of school, even though most children won't be in a physical classroom. But routine vaccinations are down during the COVID-19 pandemic, and a new bill from Congresswoman Kim Schreier would invest in local vaccine initiatives and education to help keep shots current for school kids. If you have a child starting classes this month, routine vaccinations are available through Confluence Health, Columbia Valley Community Health, or your local pharmacy. Well, a four-way land swap has cleared the way for low-cost housing and a new community center in Chelan. It involves the Chelan Valley Housing Trust. They're the nonprofit 7 Acres Foundation, also the Real Life Church, and the Lookout Home Development, which exchanged parcels to allow for the 9 acres of affordable housing, plus 6 acres between Chelan and Manson for a community hall. The multiple transactions closed simultaneously. The Housing Trust plans to build its new development along Anderson Road. Trust Director Mike Cooney says, quote, "This property will fulfill our property needs for years to come," unquote. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Pybus Public Market's motto is where community meets. Whether it's people, enjoying an event, or they meet a colleague for coffee and whip out their laptop and are able to actually do work here, having quick and reliable Wi-Fi is one of the things that makes Pybus such a great community hub. It just contributes to the welcoming place that we want Pybus to be. I'm Allie, and fiber keeps people connected, and that's what Pybus Market is all about.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Well, drop by your Wenatchee post office on Saturday and you're likely to see local mail personnel picketing over postal changes by the Trump administration. Mail handling in Wenatchee almost shifted permanently to Spokane this week under mandates from the U.S. Postmaster. Ryan Harris, the union representative for local post office employees, says mail workers want the public to know about the confusion imposed by D.C. In tonight's feature story, he explained to NCWLIFE's Jefferson Robbins how the Wenatchee Sorting Center escaped the chopping block.
In July, we were notified from Seattle that we were going to be losing our outgoing letters and outgoing flat cancellations effective the first Saturday of this month. That didn't happen, but the second Saturday of this month, they had us disconnect the Dios machine, which is the machine that sprays the barcodes on it and sorts the letters, as well as the flats canceller and the 2 marks, which cancel the letters. We didn't actually remove the machines. All we did was remove all the wiring to them so they couldn't be used. We got the authority Tuesday night after the Postmaster General came out and did his notice, and the Washington State Attorney General Office filed lawsuit against the Postal Service, that we were given permission to rerun the wires, hook the machines back up, and we started processing mail Wednesday
So that means that mail sent in or around the Wenatchee area still receives a Wenatchee postmark, and it's handled here in Wenatchee.
Yes, we only lost productivity for one day, which was Monday. So they ran it Tuesday night after they got everything hooked up. Then we got confirmation after that we were one of the few facilities that were authorized in the nation to actually reinstall our machine.
Do you know why Wenatchee got that authority when other post offices might not have?
The only thing I could think of is because we've been so proactive here, and then the Washington State Attorney General Office was leading the nation and filing the lawsuit against the Postal Service.
Was mail slowed down in the Wenatchee area because of the disconnection and then reconnection?
It was, because the mail that we delivered on Wednesday, a lot of that mail was the mail that we sent to Spokane on Monday, and normally that would be delivered on Tuesday. So it did slow a few things down. The Wednesday prior, so last Wednesday, we were notified that, oops, they made a mistake. Not only were we going to be taking the letters and the flats, but they were going to take all our priority packages as well. So any priority packages mailed in all of 988 area was sent to Spokane for one day. But then Tuesday night, they started doing that again. So they only gave us 3 days notice. So luckily, the Postmaster General changed his mind that quick and said, hey, we can continue to process. The big deal we're having problems with across the nation is a lot of the veterans' medicines, so much so that the VA has started contracting out with other carriers to deliver the medicines, because we haven't been able to get them delivered in time because a lot of the packaging machines and sorting machines haven't been active. We also got notification today that we can no longer get the dies for the letter canceling machines that we have because they're so outdated, so that we can't get the 2021 dies to cancel the mail next year. So chances are, once election mail is over this year, that we'll probably still end up losing the outgoing mail to Spokane under the guise that we don't have a way of creating mark cancellation dies.
Ryan, you work with the local carriers and handlers. How do they feel about having been directed one way, directed another, and they're looking at other changes down the road?
Morale is pretty low, especially when you're told one way we're going to do it, now today we're going to do it, now are they going to tell us next week now to go ahead and pull the machine again? Because the Postmaster General came out and said that they were going to no longer do any consolidations, but we're still getting reports across the nation that they're disassembling DBCS and dioses. And I've seen pictures in Michigan where they're sitting out in the parking lot under tarps. I know in Seattle, some of the machines they disconnected, they took parts off of them to extend the other machines to make them longer, so those can no longer be put back in service because they're missing 2/3 of the components.
All right, time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. We're a little short on time today, so let's get right to it. And what a beautiful shot, by the way, from our Wenatchee Heights Sky-Fi Tower camera. Unofficial high temperature today, 87, and that's just a couple degrees above where we were, or where we should be for this time of year at 85. 87 also our high yesterday. 69 is where we started the day. 60 is normal. Record high back in 05, and that was 100 degrees. Record low, 46 in 1960. Sun will set tonight at 8:01. We're going to get right to that 7-day forecast and show you what you can expect as we get into the upcoming weekend. We are seeing a cold front move through right now. That's why we're cooler today, and we'll be even a little bit cooler tomorrow as we catch the tail end of that cold front. 85 the high. Look at that. 55 the overnight low. 89 on Sunday with sunshine. And look at the rest of that forecast. Monday right through Thursday. Sunshine, warm temperatures, lows in the low 60s with high temperatures right around 90 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast, an abbreviated version. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Don't worry, all the fun is around the corner. There's no better time to get ready than now with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa sale. Stock Up and Save sale is now going on in-store and online at BlueLagoonPoolandSpa.com. Even pool heaters are on sale. Financing available upon approval. Credit 24-month, no interest with equal payments. Stop by today or order online at BlueLagoonPoolandSpa.com. Free water testing available in store or curbside. Don't wait, the sale is going on now.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Friday to you. Quentin Dunbar met with reporters for the first time since he was arrested in an armed robbery in Florida today. He has since had the charges dropped, which allowed him to join the Seahawks in training camp. The free agent signee from Washington was asked what exactly happened in Florida back in May.
I can't really comment on that situation with it, with the ongoing case still going on. So I can't really speak on what happened, but the truth will eventually come out.
How appreciative are you that the team stuck by you? There's some teams that may have cut you in that situation.
I'm very appreciative. They definitely was by my side the whole way, but at the same time, man, I know what I did do and I know what I didn't do, and I wasn't even really worrying about football at the time. I was just worrying about clearing my name.
Dunbar says he definitely learned a lesson about being in the wrong place and who he surrounds himself with.
A few months. I mean, when you face an armed robbery, man, that carry life, Florida. So I mean, it ain't really, that's self-explanatory, and it's just a hard pill to swallow. And I learned from the situation, and growing up where I come from, man. I mean, it wasn't nice, and I just got to learn to protect my energy and protect my space, man. And you can't be around. You can't save or be around everybody, You'll try to make everybody happy. You got to understand who you are and what you work hard for, and you got to protect that because everybody don't have great intentions. So.
Now, Dunbar could still face penalties from the NFL. A day after the charges were dropped, he was removed from the commissioner's exempt list. Well, a pleasant surprise at training camp for the Seahawks has been wide receiver Philip Dorsett II. He signed a one-year free agent contract in the offseason after playing in Indianapolis and New England. Coach Pete Carroll says his speed is a big factor.
He's the fastest guy we've ever had here, Greg. He runs... in the time realms we don't even think really exist, 4.2s and stuff. And in our system with Russ and the way Russ likes to bomb the football, he's a big factor for us. And matter of fact, we're just installing stuff in the next couple of days that really accentuate some of those kinds of plays, and I'm really anxious to see him fit in. Tyler's been phenomenal at that stuff over the in the past, and to have the complement really with all of that speed on the field at the same time, DK and Tyler and Philip, it's pretty dynamic, so. But he's done really well, and that's what you've seen. He's got behind us a couple times.
Now, Dorsett says he hopes that his speed can help provide another option for Russell Wilson that defenses will have to pay attention to.
Just a guy that can stretch the field. Again, just to compliment Tyler and DK, we know those guys can stretch the field. And just having a third guy that you can go out there and put pressure on the defense and make sure that they can't really pay attention to one person. That's what you want. That's what you want in the offense. You want it to be wide open, and you don't want your main guys to be doubled all the time. So you gotta have a lot of guys that can run. You gotta have a lot of guys that can just put the pressure on the defense.
Seahawks had one more practice today before their scrimmage tomorrow at CenturyLink. For more, go to Seahawks.com. Well, a 60-car field is set for racing tomorrow at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval during Johnson Electric Night. Track manager Jeremy Anders billed this as a hobby stock challenge, and that certainly turned out to be the case. A huge field of 30 cars have signed up to race for the event, sponsored by Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning. Nearly half of the field from Yakima will have live coverage with yours truly and Greg Rentz on the call beginning at 6 right here tomorrow on the NCWLIFE channel. Also racing this weekend, the Economy Midget Northwest Focus Midget Series, Northwest Pro 4 Trucks, Holidays Custom Muffler B-Bonds, and the Plum Perfect Roadrunners. Well, sometimes there are those games that you just have to tip your hat and move on. Such was the case for the Mariners as they were dominated by future Hall of Famer Clayton Kershaw in a 6-1 defeat by the Dodgers last night. The 13-year veteran southpaw from Dallas
Dallas struck out 11 over 7 innings, allowed just a solo home run to Kyle Seager, and picking up his third win of the season. Yusei Kikuchi took the loss for Seattle, lasting just 4 2/3, allowing 5 runs, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, 4 walks. Manager Scott Service said the game boiled down to one thing.
Story of today's game, we did not do what we've been doing, and that is controlling the strike zone as well. I thought Yusei threw the ball pretty good first couple innings, but he was not, getting that first pitch strike in there. And it's so important against good ball clubs like this. And I thought we've done an excellent job here the last few days. It just, wasn't happening today. So, again, they put the big 4 runs up in the third inning. Like you say, tried to hang in there after that. And offensively, we got shut down by a very good pitcher. Kershaw was on top of his game today with the good slider, cutter, and then the curveball on top of that, which was really an effective pitch for him today against, some of our young guys. So, again, I'm really happy with the way we had been playing, because we had, been controlling that strike zone is so key for us to stay in these games and win them, and we just didn't do it today.
Seattle begins a 3-game weekend series with Texas in town. It'll be Nick Marjavicius going for the Mariners against the Rangers' Colby Allard. On the Les Schwab American League West scoreboard from last night, here you take a look at the scores. Houston threw up a 5 spot in the 2nd and 5th, beat Colorado 10-8. Also in games last night, 10 innings. San Diego beat Texas 8-7. Oakland over Arizona. San Francisco down the Angels. Mariners now 10.5 games back in the American League West. Here's what's coming up this weekend on the NCWLIFE channel. Starts tonight with girls soccer, as we'll go back to a great game of our past, Wenatchee battling West Valley from November of 2017. Prior to racing tomorrow night, you can watch boys basketball from January of 2017, Wenatchee Eastmont at 2 o'clock. Then we'll have a twin pack, Wenatchee Wild and Vernon Viper game Sunday at 2 and 7. Games from last September at the Town Toyota Center. Have a great weekend. Stay safe and sane. See you on Monday or tomorrow night for racing. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And finally tonight, Shane Magdoff, one of the newest members of the East Wenatchee City Council, received a Certificate of Municipal Leadership Award from the Association of Washington Cities. Magdoff, a former human resources executive, underwent more than 30 hours of leadership training with the AWC. She was appointed in 2018 to fill the seat left by Sandra McCourt. AWC is a key lobbying agency for Washington's 281 cities and towns. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up Monday morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. Join me Monday morning. We'll have all the news that happened over the weekend. Fill your head full of the information you need to start another work week. Plus, we'll have sports, including highlights from Saturday night at the WVSO, Mike McNalty's opinion, the obscure holiday, today in history, some celebrity birthdays, everything you need to know to start your next work week. We'll see you Monday, live and local at 7 a.m. from this very studio. Grant, back to you.
Thanks, Dan. Looking forward to it. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great weekend.
Is search engine optimization right for my business? Maybe. Studies show the first and second search results get 50% of all the clicks. But you have to fight national chains to get there. If the user has to scroll down to find you, tough luck. You could hide a dead body on page 2 and the whole zombie apocalypse on page 3. Or you could spend less and get an ad in the Impact Big Print phone book, giving local businesses a chance to shine.
Impact Directories. Bigger print, better book.
In a world afraid of technology, one man, one show.
We'll bring you the newest innovations that may just change your life. This summer, Ray McNeil, and your Weekly Tech Update is your Weekly Tech Update with Ray McNeil.